I have a tough time wrapping my head around different dimensions as well. I've talked to a couple different people. They broke it down fairly well for me. I would like to hear you break down what is a dimension?
Yeah. Well, dimension is a realm that exists at a different frequency. So right now we're in the third dimension. We only can control the first and the second. All right. The first dimension is a line. The second dimension is connected lines. And because we're in the third dimension, we're like the God over the second and the first. We can control and manipulate those dimensions from the outside. If people were living in those dimensions, like one-dimensional people or two-dimensional people, they would be at complete awe of what our capabilities were, because they first of all, they wouldn't be able to see us as a third-dimensional being. All they would see is the manipulation of their environment, and they would wonder what's going on. All right, so that's kind of power we would have. Now, extrapolate, fourth dimension. The fourth dimension used to be said it was time. It's not time. That's just a hypothesis that Einstein was trying to correlate time to the third. The fourth dimension is a tesseract, a fourth dimensional hypercube. From the fourth dimension and all the way up, things change completely. So we're in the third. Somebody in the fourth dimension, an entity in the fourth dimension, can see into everything. They can see through this ceiling and watch us sitting here right now. All right? They can see the past, present, and future all at the same time. In other words, when I first walked in a building and you greeted me, they would see that. In another room, they would see us taking photos. And in this room, they would see us doing this interview, but they would see all three things happening at the same time. It's like having a house and living different parts of your life at the same time in different years in the same house, right? And then above that, you have the fifth, sixth, seventh. Now, these dimensions are compactified. And yes, that's an actual real word, compactified. Look it up, guys. Whoever's looking, look up the word. They're stacked so tight on top of each other that they're like a Planck unit of distance away from this universe, right? And now the only way to get into one is to move into a right angle at a different frequency. You have to obtain the subatomic frequency of that dimension. So if there are beings in higher dimensions that have developed the ability to understand and get the actual subatomic frequency number of the third dimension in this universe, they can theoretically walk from their universe or their dimension directly into ours.
What do you mean, the frequency?
Okay. Every universe has a specific frequency. Every dimension in that same universe also has a frequency. Every atom resonates at a specific frequency. Nothing ever rests. Everything is always vibrating. At the subatomic level, we know that when you dig deep into the nucleus of an actual atom, what's in there is a tiny vibrating string. So we're living in a symphony of music, and the music that's jingling and making this noise is creating the illusion of physicality, the illusion of solidity, even the illusion of distance, which doesn't even exist. And so that's what we're living in. Now, if I can obtain, for example, let's say there's a cancer tumor in a person's body. The cells in that cancerous tumor are now operating or vibrating at a specific resonant frequency. We know this for a fact. If I have a device that actually can match the frequency of that tumor, I can send a cancellation frequency to that tumor.
You're talking about a Rife machine.
Something like a Rife machine. I can destroy it without destroying the surrounding tissue, right? So imagine having the capability of now understanding on a more grand scale, a dimension, fifth dimension, like somebody there obtains the frequency of the third dimension. They can just come right on through. This could be some of the reason for paranormal activity and things like that. It could be entities or beings having a peek into our world, into our dimension. It might not be anything scary at all, in some cases. Will it scare us? Maybe, yeah, because we can't perceive them as to what they truly appear and look like, but it could be a higher dimensional being coming to have a look around. They could be on vacation. I mean, theoretically,
I don't know who the hell is going to come on vacation to this world, buddy, but
it's something to look at. This is a reality show. Okay, yeah. We're on season 2023. That's just the way it is, man.
Yeah. So there's 11 frequencies.
11 dimensions.
Who came up with this?
Oh, big-time theoretical physicist, Michio Kaku, Professor James Gates Jr., and many other supersymmetry experts. And then Now, I've been talking about the fact that if there's 11 dimensions, that our mind connects to also 11 dimensions for over a decade. And if you go back and look at some of those old posts, people were calling me a kook, a crazy, a tinfoil wearing hat, pseudoscientist, blah, blah, blah. Well, 2 years ago, scientists at the Brain Institute discovered that the human mind connects to what? 11 dimensions. So now, my theory was accurate, science has proved it, and theoretical physicists say that there are 11 dimensions. So our minds, our consciousness is multidimensional. And everything that exists in the third dimension that we had we took part in creating, it started all on the multidimensional platform. So this chair that we're sitting in right now, a person thought about this chair first before it manifested as solid matter, but they thought about it on the multidimensional platform, higher dimensional thinking, the original platform before all these other platforms came out. And in that realm, it existed and was constructed in a higher dimension. Then what happens is the person who was thinking about creating this chair collapsed it from multi-dimensions into 2 dimensions. How? By drawing it on a piece of paper. Then it went from there probably into a computer nowadays, which is a CAD, computer-assisted design, which is still 2D, even though it gives you the illusion of 3D in the computer. All computer screens are just 2-dimensional objects. And from there, it gets sent, now the data from it gets sent to an engineer who now crafts it into a 3-dimensional object that we can maneuver in XYZ axis in space-time. So this chair that I'm sitting in and you're sitting in started off, it was created in multi-dimensions and then collapsed into a 3-dimensional structure that we're sitting on right now.
Very interesting.
Hey everyone, this is Billy Carson, AKA Forbidden Knowledge. I want to tell you about an amazing online academy that I created in order to help people become the best version of themselves. If you're into self-improvement, if you're into financial literacy, entrepreneurship, ancient wisdom, all those amazing teachings, I put them all in one place. Over 150 hours of amazing teachings in one place called the Forbidden Knowledge Academy. You can simply get there by going to 4bkacademy.com.